Welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is like a week late, 2 weeks. I don't even know how late we are anymore. We just kind of go with it, but it's always an instant classic, so that's cool. Yeah. So we're here to do the NXT review for November 25th of 2015. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, there was one before that. Well, we're kind of skipping over that one a little bit. But stuff happened. Nia Jax had a match. That happened. But nothing really. There wasn't too much that kind of directly impacted this week's episode. So there's a couple of things. Like I believe um, Emma's partner challenged Asuka for a rematch. That happened last week. But anyway, let's get into this show. Also, now while I'm thinking about it, I don't know if anyone else thought this about this match or this show, but for some reason to me this show felt really thrown together. Um, for some reason, it just felt like it was really thrown together to me. It could be because freaking Michael Cole was there, and but anyway, let's get into it. So we open up with Michael Cole in the ring. Um, he announces that William Regal is home recovering from neck surgery and has left Cole in charge because out of everybody employed by WWE, you would leave freaking Michael Cole in charge. Of course, why you didn't have like Michael Tarver that you could have left in charge. I mean, that would have been a good, you know. But anyway, he says also tonight, Eva Marie will challenge Bayley for the women's title. They also have a contract signing between Finn Balor and Samoa Joe for next for NXT Brooklyn. And there's a table in the ring. It's the usual contract signing setup. Um, so Finn comes out and talks about how Joe did what he felt he had to do to make this match happen. He also made Finn realize that friendship and trust in this business is a rarity. The only thing I could think of at that point was you've been in the business for how many years and you're just figuring this out from this? Really? Really? Come on now. Come on, WWE. These guys are... Anyway. Um So Joe comes out, signs the contract, and leaves the ring without even a glance at Finn. All the while, Finn trying to, get him to look him in the eye. But as usual, with contract signings, Joe waits in the wings at the top of the entranceway and attacks Finn Balor coming up the ramp. I feel like we knew there was going to be something was going to happen. I mean, it typically does in contract signings. And then you add to the fact that all the referees were surrounding the ring. And I was like, they don't do that for a contract signing. So something's going to happen. Did you have any thoughts on any of the opening segment for Raw? I mean, NXT?
Um, I like I like the whole Joe kind of waiting in the wings a little bit. Kind of just going. It kind of it was a little different for a contract signing. Usually you have everything kind of happen in the ring, where this one Finn was leaving and then he got attacked from behind. I kind of like that. It just gave it a little bit of a different feel. Michael Cole was there, which gave it a little bit of a different feel, because William Regal with his surgery and whatnot, recovering and all of that. I don't know what gave Michael Cole the jurisdiction to give Eva Marie a title shot, but okay, all right. New GM, I guess. Anonymous NXT general manager, I guess. I don't know, but whatever. I was excited for that match anyway, and I was excited to I thought this contract signing was. I mean, it was no different than any other one, but at least it wasn't. It wasn't like the same as every other contract signing either.
Yeah. Um, so next we get the NXT Tag Team Championship rematch from 2 weeks ago when Dash and Wilder um, won the titles from the Vaudevillains. So we have the Vaudevillains versus Dash and Dawson, or as I'm calling them from now on, the Double D's. I think it's gonna pick up. You're gonna see the Double D's T-shirt. It's gonna. Yep. So they they showed last month's attack on the real tag team champions Enzo and Cass by Dash and Dawson. The real tag team champions. I just want to reiterate that the real tag team champions. So you kind of, you knew something was going to go down with Enzo and Cass. It kind of put that in the back of your mind because we haven't really heard anything or seen anything from them. So just you knew something was going to go down. But again, I don't like Dawson and Wilder, but I do like their kind of throwback style that they have in the ring. Um, you know, it kind of again reminds you of like an Arn Anderson kind of that kind of just tough, rough kind of style. Um, this was a very slow paced match, but it still was very good. Lots of really good near falls, lots of reversals. It felt like these teams really knew each other, which you like in a tag team match, especially for the titles. You don't want a one-sided affair. Dawson and Wilder retain. I didn't expect the Vaudevillains to win anyway. I could see WWE possibly calling them up to the main roster right now. Their tag team division on the main roster is kind of weak, so that would help them a lot. Also, I'd really like to see what they would do with them on the main roster. Storyline wise, see how they would use them. Before I get to what happened after the match, any thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I definitely like Dawson and Wilder. I think they just need a they just need something. Like they need a calling card or something, just something to get the crowd behind them. Because I like their work in the ring. I think they're a really good tag team. They work well together, and they also work well with the Vaudevillains. Love the Shatter Machine as a finisher. It looks when it's hit right, it looks devastating, and I like it. Um, but I feel like just with this match, I agree. I think that the Vaudevillains are probably going to the main roster sometime soon. Number one, it's going to give them another unique tag team to put inside their tag team division. Because I feel like, like it's not like WWE doesn't have a deep tag team division. They just don't use all the tag teams. They like to have like this circle of three tag teams they like to use, and then they'll just they'll toss one up, and then it's kind of like someone who can't juggle. They'll have three tag teams. They'll toss all three of them up. They'll drop one, and then they'll use the two that they didn't drop. So you know, that's how I feel like they're doing with their tag team division. It's like they have 8,000 balls on the floor that they could pick up and juggle with, but they only want to use three, and I don't understand it. Like just because they have like I feel like they have a lot of tag teams, but they don't use them. Like they have the Ascension, and you may hate the gimmick, but they can work in the ring pretty well. They may be a big, powerful tag team, but when given a chance, they work pretty well in the ring. Same thing with Los Matadores. I hate the gimmick, but they still work pretty well in the ring. So I feel like they just kind of they got to quit making the tag team division a joke. Especially as far as the tag team gimmicks that they're giving people, like you can't really take it seriously, and I think that's kind of the issue. I hope the Vaudevillains go up to the main roster. I think more of the after the match stuff kind of set us up for maybe our next tag team champions as well. So, but I'll let you get into
Yeah.
that before I get ahead of myself or yourself or
Yeah.
somebody. So,
And with that, also, you know, WWE announced, a while back that they're trying to get into more of this reality era, this reality based, and they're still have these stupid gimmicks for these tag teams, like the Los Matadores. We have the Ascension, which could work, but they're trying to, piggyback too much on, the Legion of Doom type of thing. Just these stupid. I mean, even to an extent, I feel like the New Day is a little bit over the top. I think if they backed it off just a little bit, that could still work. They're a good heel team, and I like that they're a triple threat that you don't know which ones you're gonna get. I kind of like that aspect of it, but
You
what?
don't know. You don't know. Okay.
In the WWE universe, you don't know, but you know. It's never Xavier Woods. Never. But anyway, um, after the match, we see Dash and Dawson backing up the ramp. The usual. We won. Let's not face the way that we're walking because nothing would ever show up behind us. Why would that ever happen in wrestling ever? Um, all of a sudden, Enzo and Cass's music hits, and they come out to the stage and attack. Enzo and Cass take it to Dawson and Wilder. Yeah, I was very impressed with this return. They completely kind of dominated Dawson and Wilder, which I liked. Any thoughts on the return of the new next should be now tag team champions?
um, I, I hope they become the new next should be tag team champions. I hope I'm hoping that by the time, because it seems like it's gonna be forever, 2020 or something when they call Enzo and Cass up. I hope that the New Day still still doing their thing, because I think the promos they could cut against each other would be really funny. They could really play off of each other pretty well, but I'm excited. I'm excited, but I know it's not gonna happen like the next match. You know what I mean? Like, and if it did, I'd be surprised. Maybe they should do that. So it's not, it's a little unexpected. No, okay. Um, because you never really see the title change this quickly. With dog, uh, even if they kind of went back and forth with it or something, like just change it up a little bit. I feel like, um, I'm just not sure what the plan is with Enzo and Cass. They're obviously over with the NXT universe, and once you get them on the main roster, I feel like, especially how widespread NXT is, I feel like they'll be fine on the main roster too. That's kind of one of the issues that they had with the previous guys, is NXT was popular, but it wasn't as popular as it is now. So now that's why they're having so much success. I feel like they can't really be scared to pull Enzo and Cass up, because I feel like they that's one of those teams that the crowd can really get behind, and I hope it happens pretty soon. I'm getting tired of not seeing gold around Enzo and Cass's waist and not seeing them on the main roster.
Yeah. Um, and I feel like, like you said, if Enzo and Cass came up relatively soon and, the New Day is still together, they're still doing their thing, they could, have a really good feud. They could cut really good promos on each other, really good kind of interactions. And that could kind of, you know, a little bit revitalize the tag team division, because even back, Attitude Era, and then early 2000s, with the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian specifically always did really good promos on other tag teams, and then tag teams would do promos back, and it just really made the tag team division more fun, and you kind of wanted to tune in and see, okay, you know Edge and Christian says this about the Hardys or the Dudleys. What are the Dudleys gonna say? It would be cool to have something like that. It would get you more excited about the tag team division, even though the WWE tag team titles are giant pennies. But anyway, moving on, we get a Tom Phillips interviews Eva Marie. Do you have any thoughts on all read everything's thoughts on any? I don't know what she said. Honestly, I zoned out.
I was watching this while we were doing the picks video, so I also don't know what she said, but I did see Nia Jax kind of creep in there at the end, so I guess they're working together. I feel like if they're trying to make Nia Jax as this big powerful heel, pairing her with Eva Marie will probably do it. I'm hoping for an Eva Marie title run, to be honest. I just think, and the reason, let me tell you the reason I'm saying. Let me explain. Number one, I don't hate Eva Marie. Number two, I feel I'm giving her a chance. Number three, I feel like we haven't had like a legit heel that people actually don't like as champion for NXT yet. So I think it'll be a good step in a different direction. We've seen all these face champions, and we've seen people supposed to be heel champions, but then kind of having to transition into like tweener type champions. Where even Marie, I mean, a lot of people, don't like her. So I think it would be perfect if they did something with it, especially if they're planning on calling Bayley up sometime soon.
But see, the problem with Eva Marie is fans aren't booing her because she's a good heel. They're booing her because she's boring as hell and can't wrestle. Though that is the reason she's getting boos. I'm just saying.
I mean, still, she's getting booze though. That's
I guess. Anyway, next we take a look back at the match between Asuka and Emma's partner at Takeover Respect. Then last week when Emma's partner challenged Asuka for a rematch. Um, any thoughts on this?
oh no, I was more excited for the rematch. I wanted to see what was gonna go down. I guess and we got some exciting news. It wasn't about this. I just thought about it. We got some exciting news from this show. I'm sure you'll get to it here in a little bit.
Oh,
But yeah, but you know, I was excited for this match because I like Dana Brooke personally. I think she's got she's a cool person. No, I like what she does in the ring. I feel like they could bring more of that athleticism in, but still, I like Dana Brooke for some reason. Probably because Casey dislikes her. It works. It's how we work together. But yeah, I was excited for this match because Asuka's really good, and I feel like Dana Brooke's getting better every time she puts her foot in the ring, at least, or her big toe.
and again, I I'm afraid to watch Breaking Ground anymore because they're making me like her as a person. I think it's more the gimmick and the fact that I don't think she's that good in the ring that I don't
Is it
like.
because she's adorable, Casey? Come on, it's what it is.
I mean, she
It's
kind of reminds me of those hot girls in high school that never would have dated me, but occasionally talked to me in the hallway. I think that's it. I think that's what it is. Um, moving on. Uh, we get a promo kind of video package for the Drifter, Elias Sampson. I really like this video package. It was unique. We haven't really seen something like this before, where he's playing guitar and singing a song, and they don't really show his face. They kind of just show him in the shadows, and then they'll show his mouth. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm not too impressed with his new gimmick yet, just because we've only seen a couple times, and it was kind of debuted randomly out of nowhere. and we haven't really seen him much. So, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I like this gimmick. It's once again it's one of those gimmicks that I'm like giving a chance. Kind of like the Perfect 10 with Ty Dillinger. Because I feel like if you if you give them a chance with some sort of gimmick, at least they get a chance to learn. They get a chance to see if it's gonna work. It may not work. The Perfect 10, everybody loves it. Come on, I mean, besides Casey, like he's like the only one who doesn't like the Perfect 10. But I like it and the vignette kind of dove a little bit deeper into it. Um, I like that Elias Sampson's just not this random generic jobber anymore. Anytime they give you a vignette, that means they're probably going to give you a push. So they see something in Elias Sampson, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, they did that with Bull Dempsey too, and then they never got the match with the vending machine, so I gave up on him. So next week it's well, we're supposed to get Asuka versus Emma's partner. So Emma's partner comes out and kind of distracts Asuka. Emma comes out and attacks her from behind. So we never actually get the match. Usual kind of a good heel tactic there. I'll give her credit on that. Good heel tactic. Good job. I like it. Even though Emma did all the work. Good job. Good job. Thoughts on this almost match?
I was excited for this almost match, and it didn't happen, so now I'm less excited. Um, no, this is a cool little spin they put on it. Kind of letting Dana Brooke get the upper hand because I don't know if she'll actually get the upper hand as far as a win is concerned, but at least she got the upper hand here. At least she kind of got the upper hand with Emma. And oh, heel Emma makes me a happy person. I don't know what this like mini glove she puts on that like covers like only like this part of her hand. I don't know what that is. I'm still confused about that. I watched. I think she was on last week, and I was like, why? Why is that a thing? Like what? But I definitely I like heel Emma. And I like the pairing with Dana Brooke too. I think they kind of they feed off each other, even though Emma's still terribly awkward at times. Like she still has some moments where I'm like, are you supposed to be that awkward, or is that just you? Like, what's going on here? So, but I mean, I want to see what more they're gonna do with this pairing. I'd love to see Dana Brooke actually victory against Asuka, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. I just don't. I mean, I love the girl, but
I mean, she can definitely win a hospital visit after a match with Asuka. So I mean, that's a win. That's right there. And Emma heel Emma, I should say, is amazing. Even though, like you said, she has those still awkward moments where you're like, "Oh, you're adorable." I don't know what you're trying to do, but you're adorable. Um, so next, Tom Phillips comes back because we all like Tom Phillips. I think I enjoy him. I
yeah,
think
he's a good fellow.
he's a good guy. I'd hang out with him. He tells Bayley that Eva Marie is very confident and seemingly has the odds stacked in her favor. But Emma not afraid. She says, she knows that she knows, and she also knows that to some people, Eva is the perfect champion. She's pretty. She's the star of the reality show. Actually, the Bellas are the star of the. But anyway, I'm not going to correct WWE's writing. Um, and she has the backing of WWE corporate. At this point, I was like, wait, Nia Jax isn't WWE corporate. What? Okay. But she says, do you know the difference between me and Eva Marie is? The difference is Bayley is a wrestler and Eva is not. Again, I have to correct the writing. According to WWE, you are not a wrestler. You are a sports entertainer. I'm just saying. Um, But I like this. Anytime you have Bayley, you know you're gonna get a hug or a high five. So it's always a good day, with Bayley. Thoughts on this interview and the high
I
five
mean,
at the end?
I, I mean, agreed. You're gonna get a high five, a hug, and Izzy. She's always there too. So, you know, but but yeah, I thought this is a pretty good interview. Got me excited for Eva Marie versus Bayley. More excited than I think some of us, but it happens. I I like Bayley, man. She's so cute. I mean, like it's ridiculous. Like I don't know what it is about that ponytail to the side, but my next girlfriend, I'm gonna request that she has that all the time.
Every day. All right. Moving on to the OMG moment of the night. And everyone's gonna need to sit down for this. You might want to, I mean, or stand up and sit down. That I mean, you were already sitting down. It was whatever. We get a Sami Zayn returning video package. Yeah, I freaked out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. I squealed like a little girl. I'm excited. I had read that gonna he was gonna be on the London tour. It didn't say if he was gonna compete, so apparently, he is back. He's apparently 100% to wrestle cleared. So I'm excited. Hopefully, they set up a match for him at Takeover, maybe, possibly. If not, what was the point of this? But I'm excited. It feels like we haven't seen Sami Zayn wrestle since John Cena hurt his shoulder. It's all John Cena's fault. This proves that everything that goes wrong in WWE is John Cena's fault. It was a John Cena match. It's what it is. Um, any thoughts on the return of the Almighty Sami Zayn?
I'm definitely excited. I was watching this. I don't know. I was watching this while we were doing a football video. There may have been a point besides when I found out the Sixers won that I got really excited, and I think that was that point. During the video, I was like, oh, wait a minute, wait, what? Hold up, like to myself, obviously. I was like, yeah, I was excited. I kind of wish it was on the main roster though, but for some reason, it's so jumbled up right now in the main roster. I think it might be best for him to stay in NXT for at least the next takeover, and then make his debut. But I think they could put him in. They could put him in something with. They could put him in something with Kevin Owens. Kind of they continue that, and kind of make it like Kevin Owens was the one that put him out. So Kevin Owens is the Intercontinental Champion. Makes his debut on Raw, wins the Intercontinental Champion. Then we get a nice Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn feud. I'm just saying, I'm just saying that's how I would do it personally. I just think I think it should happen. Sami Zayn's amazing, and I'm excited that he's back. I might have to go watch Sami Zayn network old Sami Zayn matches on the network and old Sami Zayn matches and Ring of Honor and stuff just to get hyped for this moment, especially during this month break that I'm gonna have after 2 weeks. So I'm excited. Maybe he'll be back in 2 weeks and I won't have to do that.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's something that a lot of fans are hoping for is a Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn feud. That would definitely be a good feud. But anyway, next we get Apollo Crews versus again another surprise. I was pumped against Jesse Sorensen. I was surprised. I didn't know that Jesse got a contract with NXT. Last time I knew he was still in Paragon Pro Wrestling. Because because he just lost the title to Joey Ryan not too long ago. So I wasn't aware that he had signed with WWE, but I'm excited to see him again. Before seeing him in PPW for a little while now. The last time I had really seen him was when he was in TNA, when he had his little run in TNA. So I'm excited that he's kind of back on a big promotion. Not that I don't like Paragon. I love Paragon Pro Wrestling and all the smaller promotions, but it's cool to see him finally get his chance. Um, but again, I'm surprised that they haven't been changing these guys' ring names the past couple guys, which is surprising because that's usually the first thing that WWE does. They change your name. And they haven't done that with Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Jesse Sorensen, Samoa Joe, which is surprising. It's weird that they did it with like Kevin Owens, and there's a few guys that they did it with. But anyway, I was kind of let down with this match. This could have been a really good match, but I felt like they gave Jesse no offense. It was just a really Apollo Crews heavy match, which I don't like, especially in NXT where kind of everybody is, working for that main roster spot. So you kind of want to show everyone's highlights and, give everyone that good showing. You don't necessarily want to have one person really dominate. It doesn't really look good for developmental. But you know, um, it was a good match. So just seeing Jesse Sorensen, hopefully they kind of do something with him and don't do what they did with Tommaso and Johnny and just have him job every week. Because by the way, Tommaso Ciampa has a match next week. He's probably gonna job. Just throwing it out there. Any thoughts before I get to after the match on this destruction of Jesse Sorensen?
Yeah, Jesse Sorensen is kind of in that lump with, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, all those people we really like and we really want to be successful in WWE, and then they make them job out, and you're like, why? But they're so good, you know. And I agree with you on that. I feel like, Apollo Crews is good, and I like Apollo Crews. I love Apollo Crews, but I still feel like NXT should kind of get back to its roots a little bit, because before we weren't seeing all these like jobber matches. I don't remember it personally. Seeing like besides Baron Corbin, we weren't really seeing too many jobber matches. It was just guys going out there and putting on good matches. I think they need to quit acting like this is kind of the main roster a little bit, like where you like need those type of rubs. Like with NXT, you don't necessarily need it. We know all of these guys are talented. We know all these guys are good. So I feel like they should give everybody an equal chance. But yeah, like whoever wins, we know okay, that's the guy they're trying to really go after. But wait a minute, Jesse Sorensen, this guy, he's pretty good though. He's got some, he's got a future. Because what can you really see from getting squashed, even as a writer or a guy in creative? What can you really see, or even a trainer? What can you really see from someone getting squashed? Oh, he can get beat up. Well, that's good. I mean, doesn't really matter. Um, but this match was just like you said, a squash match. Cruz just dominated. I don't even know how he won because I looked down I looked up and he was killing him, and I was like, let me look real quick at the computer. Looked back up and I was like, oh, it's over. Um, wait. Um, so I'm hoping they do something with these guys, because I know obviously they're pushing Apollo Crews probably straight to the top. With the whole trying to the whole feud he's having with Baron Corbin. Right, right, Baron Corbin. I get him and Corbin and Joe and Balor. For some reason, I get those feuds mixed up. I throw somebody in another feud. But yeah, I'm excited though, man. I want to see, because I think him and Baron Corbin could put on a good match. I really have started to like, besides the first falling out of the ring impression. I really started to like Baron Corbin, so I think they can have a good match. I honestly hope Baron Corbin at least gets one win in this feud, I think it would be good for him.
I mean, that's really the test. We haven't seen him fall out of the ring in a while. I mean, until he learns how to fall out of the ring, he's not gonna make it to the main roster.
You know what it is? It's kind of like with TNA and the world title series. We haven't seen Jesse Goddard's advance to the round of 16, but we haven't seen Jesse Goddard's hit with that crucifix anymore. So we don't know if he kind of figured out how to kick out of it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, they gotta be tested. They gotta pass the test. But anyway, Apollo grabs a mic and addresses Baron Corbin for costing him his chance at the NXT Championship. He also accepts Corbin's challenge for NXT Takeover London. Um, Next, we go to the cameraman interviewer guy, who asks Corbin his thoughts on Apollo accepting his. Yes.
It's me. I'm the camera guy, interviewee
Oh,
person.
okay. So yeah, it was DJ. And DJ asked Corbin his thoughts on Apollo accepting his challenge. Corbin says Apollo is one of those guys whose name is going to end up on a trivia question because his career is going to be so short, no one's going to remember it. I kind of thought that was a unique response. Um, what did you think being there, asking him that question in person?
You know, Baron Corbin showed a lot of intensity. It's my first time asking Baron Corbin NXT Superstar question, so I was a little nervous. You could hear it in my voice a little bit, uh, but you know, I, I like the intensity with Baron Corbin. It was like you said, a unique response. I wasn't expecting it. Even being there in person, I was not expecting him to say that. So I was like, okay, okay, Baron, I see.
Okay, but I have one question. Does he also have integrity and intelligence? Does he just have the one eye, or does he have all three? I mean,
I think he's working on the other two. You know.
I mean, I don't know if he really cares about the integrity. The intelligence, I think he has that, except for the falling out the ring. He needs to work on that. But it's the equilibrium, balance, everything like that. Whatever. But anyway, moving on. Next, WWE senior official Charles Robinson comes out, which threw me off for a second. I was like, what? Why? um, First you got Michael Cole. Now this is turning into Raw. I was like, this is Raw right now. Um, Apparently, WWE corporate sent Charles down to ensure there is no controversy in the NXT Women's Championship match. But controversy creates cash. That's what that this is. Come on, Vince. What do you want? Do you want controversy? Do you want cash? Do you want no What do you want? This is kind of what made the episode a little bit feel like it was thrown together. I feel like because you weren't like expecting to see Charles Robinson. It just kind of felt like they didn't know what else to do. But anyway, so any thoughts on Charles Robinson coming out or and them having him kind of make sure there's no controversy, even though we knew.
Yeah. I was watching this and I was like, wait, Charles Robinson, why why is he out there? And then I rewinded it back and looked up again. I'm like, Charles Robinson, I was still confused. I was like, why is he out here? But yeah, I agree. It did kind of feel kind of thrown together. It was kind of it felt like they were kind of trying to make Eva Marie like a corporate champion or something. You know what I mean? Like kind of because obviously we know And if you don't know from Total Divas, she's kind of like the chosen one at this point. Um, she's the Drew Galloway. She's gonna join a three woman alliance called the Three Woman Band. No, she's kind of like WWE's chosen one at this point, and I think it made a lot of it made sense if you know like the backstory, like if you know the Total Divas portion of it, which a lot of people who watch Total Divas don't watch wrestling or vice versa. So that was kind of like the weird part is I'm like she's kind of like that person they're kind of like trying to give they're trying to give her the brass ring. She's not necessarily like reaching for it or anything. They're trying to give it to her, and
She's John
I'm just
Cena.
yeah, she's the only one that can touch it. Like there's no like it's all the way up there. She's at the top of the ladder. Everybody else is like just getting off the mat, you know. But yeah, I was like, are they trying to do a kind of a corporate screw job here or something? And it would be weird. I don't know. I don't know how they would have did this. I felt like she was gonna win tonight for some reason. I was like they're gonna go with this. And maybe Bayley's going to the main roster or something. But there's still too much. There's too much going on with the main roster divas for Bayley to go up right now because I'm confused. I don't know who the number one contender is. I don't know why certain people are the number one contender and why certain people aren't. It's not. I think they need to keep that title on her for a little bit because the main roster confuses me more and more every day.
Yeah. I feel like also storylines, especially like this one, they're going too much into it for what NXT is supposed to be. NXT is supposed to be developmental, to kind of get them ready for the main roster. So I don't think they should be doing these as in-depth storylines. Obviously, they have to have storylines to make sure that these, um, men and women can kind of carry on a storyline and put on good matches. But when you go into like, oh, now she's the corporate chosen one and blah blah blah, that's too much for and it
Sorry, I saw a
was it a Dana
nasty
Brooke
dunk
match?
just now. Like, ugh.
It was a Dana Brooke match, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. It's a Dana Brooke match. anyway, anyway, moving on. I think we're moving on. I don't know. Um, So we get the NXT Women's Championship match. Eva Marie with Nia Jax versus the champion Bayley. I don't know if anyone else noticed this. There was a bald fat guy sitting in the front row reading a book. Come on, man. Really? I mean, it wasn't just like he was glancing. He was reading this book. He had his glasses on. But anyway, I'm giving DJ this match because there wasn't many matches tonight. It was weird.
Um, I, I, I was, I just thought about this, and I was kind of watching this match, thinking about this too. I was like, Eva Marie looks like somebody, like even the Eva Marie Nia Jax pairing, like reminds me of something, and I'm like, what is it? And I'm like, oh yeah, EC3 and Tyrus. I'm like, are they turning Eva Marie into EC3 and Tyrus? Come on, you can't do that. Come on. TNA's already got you beat. Um, Eva Marie would take control early. Then just Bayley, like this is like 3 minutes into the match, like 2.5 even. You know, 2.5 minutes into the match, Bayley to belly, out of nowhere, and I'm like, it's over already. Because Eva Marie was dead. I mean, like I think she died like immediately, like fatality. Like after that Bayley to belly, like the cell. I mean, we talk about how she can't wrestle, but she was dead. At one point during this match, and after that, Bayley to belly. And then Nia Jax pulls the ref out of the ring, the original ref. Charles Robinson comes in to count the roll up pin on Eva Marie. I mean, on Bayley by Eva Marie. And I was like, oh, is this how it's going to end? Wait a minute. But she kicks out at 2. Nia Jax gets involved again as Charles Robinson is distracted. Running senton by Eva Marie for 2. Like, Eva, like I'm giving you a chance, but if you don't solidly hit them, like like I am tired of this. You like sideswipe with that senton. Watch Kevin Owens do it. Why? Who else does it? I mean, everyone does it at this point. Freaking Bray Wyatt does it. Like, come on, just watch them do it. I know you're small. You're smaller than them, so maybe that's what it is. You're over. You're overcompensating. You think you're fatter than you are, and you're not. You're not a fat girl. So don't worry. Um, but she hits the running senton kind of for two. Bayley starts to fight back. Eva takes control again, but Bayley comes back with a nice little clothesline. Eva would eventually hit Bayley with the Kendrick for two. I still think that needs to be faster. Um, I just think it's just too slow. It feels like she's like tiptoeing up the stair, up not the stairs, up the turnbuckle, and then falling down. And I'm like, but no, that's got to be faster than that. Like I know you got some athleticism in your body. You cannot have a body like that and not be anywhere near athletic. But anyway,
Whoa,
um,
whoa, she's married. Calm down.
that's true. That's true. My B. What's her boyfriend's name? I don't care. Robinson gets taken out as Eva is pushed into him, and Eva hits a pretty nice big boot. Um, Pretty nice big boot there. Super Bayley to belly attempt is coming at you, but Nia Jax gets involved, and then obviously Eva Marie hits the 1% to win. No, after Nia Jax gets involved, she gets pulled down. The Super Bayley to belly ends up winning the match for Bayley. Nia Jax comes in after the match and kind of beats down Bayley. I was expecting a Nia Jax push before I was expecting an Eva Marie push, um, but I think this was an interesting match. I came into it like Eva Marie's gonna win. She's got Charles Robinson on her side, and I try like when I'm watching matches now. I try to watch matches like with like a clear mind and watch matches, you know, like kind of like an old fan, like when I didn't feel like I knew everything that was going on, So I'm like, yeah, she's gonna get it, she's gonna get the title, and everybody's gonna be booing her, and it's gonna be a good moment, and it didn't happen, and I was like, oh, okay, well, same thing. um, but yeah, this match was, I mean, it wasn't bad. I still feel like Eva Marie, just needs to work on hitting her moves like she needs to hit them. The Kendrick needs to be faster. The senton needs to actually be hit. Stuff like that. Simple stuff. Because I think she's improved with like the simple moves, but like I feel like when she tries to do too much, maybe she needs to change it to like a frog splash or something. Is it like against the rules for women to do like diving moves, like diving finishers? Because no one has one. So I feel like maybe she needs like a frog splash or something. It'll be a little bit easier. Um,
I don't know. I she definitely needs to work on those moves. I don't know how she misses the senton. It's literally just falling on your opponent. How do you miss that? I mean,
she
come
thinks
on.
she's fat. She just pushes a little too hard.
I just and the sliced bread. She just needs to get more comfortable with it and not be. I think she's still afraid of it. I think that's part of what it is. She just needs to not be afraid of it. And we got Charles Robinson in there. He took the ref fall like a champ. As he should, being the senior referee. He died basically. From that little tap, he just died. So that was cool. But yeah, I will say the writing on this was good. You felt like she was, Eva Marie had all the odds stacked in her favor. You had the crooked ref, you had, you had Tyrus on the outside. Uh,
She had that big cast on her arm, I tell you, that she
yeah,
used to
yeah.
almost win the match.
I know, she had everything. You know, she had the authority on the outside. It
Dixie
was
Carter
everything.
came out at one point.
you know, the KRD came out. It was everything came out. But
Aces
yeah,
and Eights.
so
She's the leader
yeah,
of the WWE version of Aces and Eights.
so you were pretty you almost knew she was gonna win the title, and then when she didn't, it was a surprise. It was actually a surprise. So but I'm happy that Bayley still has the title. It builds it up. I I'm still not. I'm not saying that Eva Marie would definitely have a horrible title run, because I agree with you. I think we need that kind of real heel that everyone really just doesn't like in NXT. Not the heel that everyone loves. Not the kind of Kevin Owens heel or the Sasha Banks heel. We need the heel, the John Cena heel that everyone hates.
We need like
Um,
I don't know who's like. It's been a while since we had like a legit like
yeah,
heel that you just don't like. I don't. I can't even think of the last one.
yeah,
Like, cause even with Punk, you liked him. Like it's just
yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and try to figure out who was the last one that you really just didn't like. Because I mean, even going back to like Austin was a heel, but that's why you loved him. The Rock was a heel, and that's why who did we just not like? I don't know. But anyway, we definitely need that, but she just needs to work on her in ring stuff. She needs to work on her kind of gimmick and personality, because that's part of I think why I don't like her is just she bores me. She doesn't
I,
entertain me.
I think she has like a personality she could use, like just her natural personality. I think she could use. I just feel like I don't know. I don't know if she's comfortable with it yet. Like I don't think like I think she's too into trying to play a character, which will get you in trouble. Because if you get too into trying to play a character, you're gonna get uncomfortable because you're desperately trying to play a character instead of letting it naturally flow. And I think that's kind of the issue she's having, and that's why she seems so boring because she's too focused on trying to be, I'm bad, I'm a bad girl, Eva Marie.
Yeah, and I think that's always been a thing with professional wrestling in general. When you're more yourself, that's when you're kind of more popular. I mean, a- just look at guys like Austin. As soon as Austin started, kind of bringing more of himself into his character, that's when he really kind of, took off. Same with like Triple H, all those guys. It just proves, that your character needs to have more of you in it.
I think Triple H was the one. Triple H was a heel. I think he was probably the last heel I actually hated. Like I didn't necessarily hate him, but I didn't like him because he was so cocky about it.
Yeah,
He
I
might have
didn't
been.
like. Yeah, I didn't like him in Evolution. I liked him before that. Like in DX, I loved him. When he was a heel, but after that, yeah, I don't know. Even then, I didn't really hate him. I just hated the factions that he was in.
I know who it is. I know. I
Who
know.
is it?
It's Michael Tarver, man. Michael Tarver is the greatest heel of all time.
I don't know. I think it's different for everybody, because there's certain heels you just hate, and then other people love them. Like um, who is it that I hated? Uh, I always hated Barrett, and everyone loves Barrett. I hate him. Hate him
Love
so
Barrett.
much.
Always loved Barrett. Loved Barrett since that first season of NXT. It was him and
He
Daniel Bryan, and I'm like, I don't know who to pick. I love Daniel Bryan, but I love Wade Barrett too.
I, I picked Justin Gabriel. I was like, Justin Gabriel's gonna win it. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna be our NXT for the 25th of November in the year 2015. We are into December now, which is crazy. I can't believe we're into December. Um, so we're excited for next week's episode. I think it's gonna be the first episode in London, which is going to be awesome. I'm excited. And then I think the 16th they said is NXT Takeover London. So I'm excited about that. Um, Tomorrow we should be getting out TNA and Breaking Ground, so I can unwillingly like Dana, Emma's partner more.
Well,
As,
she's not on this episode, so no need to worry
all
for
right,
this time.
good. I'm good. We can see ZZ get yelled at for having horrible cardio. Poor
Because
guy. Come on.
Justin would be
He's
like, "Cause
fat.
it's back."
He's fat. All right, guys. So we will see you tomorrow. See you on the flippity dippity.